Okay, here we are back for round 3 of the Swiss, and I'm going to keep this. We have a lot of lands in our hand, our opponent's playing first. We have an extra draw, and with a 2-drop, and then in some really powerful cards, I think we'll be okay. We could get a little hosed here, but again, with that extra card coming through and having a 2-drop to stay alive, once we get to our 4th mana with Guild, we should be okay. A little bit of an aggressive black deck we see at first. But that's a start. Would prefer that to have been a swamp, but it'll be nice to get the Celestial Archon down. I think now we just want to swamp out no matter what, if anything. And then we can see what else happens. But shouldn't complain too much just about getting our lands on board, because any land will get us an Emissary and a Guild, and those are some pretty decent cards, I must admit. So if my opponent wants to try to attack here, do I block? I'm kind of down to get some tricks out of my opponent's hand, like a Coordinated Assault, Necrobite. Ooh, a Bolt. Okay, so my opponent is definitely aggressive. A Bolt is not particularly awesome against the Return Phalanx, but maybe it shuts down my opponent's deck. Second land is good. Do I just want to play the Night Howler on its own? It's only a 1/1 at that point. No, I think we'll just wait. We'll have Guild to take care of anything really scary. If not, we'll have the Emissary up and then maybe bestow the Night Howler on it. So I'm actually down to take another 2 points of damage because of this Guild. Let's see what else happens here. We're representing Pharika's Cure. My opponent might be a little worried about that, but I mean, I wouldn't. If my opponent's already showing some aggression, it's just go, go, go. My main thing is I think we've got a really nice way to be stabilizing here in the near future. Two-Headed Cerberus, not scared about either. So actually I'm going to run out the Emissary. Wait for the Cerberus to get, you know, a pump of some sort on it. And then see what happens. So the attacks here should tell us quite a bit of what my opponent might have. So here there certainly could be a Necrobite or a Coordinated Assault. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could take up to 6 damage with that. There's the +2/+0 guy now, so that's a thing. So in this case, I'm still okay taking some damage. We're still at 10 life. What else is there? Ooh. Hello, Mogis. I actually want it to become a creature so I can exile it with Guild, but 1, 2, 3... but that's gonna be a while for my opponent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still needs 2. You may sacrifice a creature. I see. So you click OK, or you can sacrifice a creature. Got it. What do I want to do now, then? So how is the rest of this game going to work out? I can put the Night Howler on the Emissary right now. Mogis, I actually want to turn into something big so I can Guild it. If I can't Guild it, I'm going to be in some pretty tough spots. And I have to keep my Emissary back to block if my opponent wants to do that. Maybe we just put the Sentry out, attack in. My opponent was willing to bash in with these guys before anyway. If Mogis does come online this next turn and attacks, I need more blocks. So yeah, unfortunately we're just going to have to do... Oh, it's really precarious, isn't it? I don't think we can race. I'm just going to play the Archon out. And then hope to not lose in 4 turns. Right now we're on defense. Ideally, my opponent doesn't attack in because of the Celestial Archon and the first strike, and tries to just play out some sort of double red or red and black spell to get Mogus in, attacks in, I'll chump with the Emissary to Mogus, and then we'll gild it, and then hopefully bounce back from there. Not too sure, though, if I'll be able to do that. Alright, so we're getting there. But my opponent can just kind of like hang back. Wow, this guy finishes me off in a couple turns. Definitely not sacrificing a creature. Nyxborn Eidolon. Maybe that's a guy I sacrifice. Play it out, sacrifice it. What else can I do on this turn? Nothing? That seems really bad. Is there... I mean, there's no way I can win, even with 7 points of damage a turn, right? I don't see that happening. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and play a Sentry out. And maybe have the Eidolon for blocking later. Still, we have kind of the same game plan of hoping that my opponent makes Mogus a creature, and then we'll have to chump block with Heliod's Emissary. Could have played the Eidolon for chump or sacrifice in that case also. Alright, so Mogus comes in. We'll be able to do some decent blocks. Then we'll gild away the actual god here. Go down to 4, which is really dangerous against what my opponent has, but we might get there. Is this lethal? I'm not too sure, but hopefully my opponent's thinking it's just in a very good spot for that. So we're going to throw away the Emissary because I think the Vigilance is going to be the most key. And then we'll try to take away the scariest dudes here and see what happens. If there's a... the Boon of Erebos would be pretty bad. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Sorry. I thought I mixed up the Sentry. I was like, I really want the Sentry to try to stay alive as long as possible. Oh, wait, I didn't want to do that. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm so bad at Magic. I forgot. I'm thinking, like, as soon as Mogus is activated, it just stays activated. But now that I am actively killing 3 of these Devotion dudes, I don't get to gild. Alright. Yeah, now there's no hope in this game. But I was dead anyway, I had to do that. I just had a bad reasoning of how this game was going to go through, because for some reason I just thought it's activated and then he stays activated, and I'm silly. Well, we do see the boon. But nonetheless, Mogus goes away. Asphyxiate's okay. So let's see. If we gild away the Ill-Tempered Cyclops, then we can asphyxiate the Emissary. Then I'm only facing down the Tormented Hero. That means I have to sacrifice, though, one of my big guys next turn. But that, I think, is the best play. Let's think this through. Otherwise, we can just attack in here. If I play the Eidolon, I can still gild away the Emissary, and then I can sacrifice the Emissary later. But then this Ill-Tempered Cyclops starts happening, and I'm in bad shape. But that's assuming my opponent grabs a land. Probably will. But then I still have to get rid of my Celestial Archon. Otherwise, we can play the Eidolon and gild away the Ill-Tempered Cyclops, because Trample might be more relevant than the plussing abilities. Because we can still double block against a plus. I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to go ahead and gild away the Ill-Tempered Cyclops. Oh, I could just play the Night Howler. No, but the whole point is I need to sacrifice a creature next turn, right? And if I'm going to sacrifice a creature, I'm pretty sure I want it to be my Nyxborn Eidolon. Because I need to be like doing some major damage pieces this turn. Right? Right. I could just put the Night Howler down. How big is that? It has 1, 2, 3. So it's a 3/3? I think that'll be next turn. I'm going to try to bash through with enough damage quickly enough to end this game. Don't know what's going to happen. So I'm tapped out. If my opponent has a creature, that Emissary is coming in. Might just be coming in anyway. Might just... Mogis is out of creature zone now. And I think that's probably what I should have done in the first place, because I was being silly and was forgetting how the gods worked. Or just, I knew how it worked, I just wasn't playing it correctly. So, Emissary has to come through. I think I offer the trade here. Because either I could put the Eidolon in front of that to just sacrifice, or at least these guys trade, and then I can sacrifice the Eidolon. But either way, both are going down, but hopefully I can take an Emissary with me. That's kind of the idea right now. So if I bestow the Night Howler onto the 4, I have to get 7 extra points of damage on it. I don't see how that's going to work. So there goes the Flesh-Mad Steed. Alright. I may cast instants and sorceries. I don't have instants and sorceries. I have to sacrifice a creature here. Servant of Tamarath keeps me barely alive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I can't do both. But if I stay alive, I should be able to get there, right? So can I stay alive? That is a good question. We play the Servant of Tamarath for our sacrifice dude. We asphyxiate the Tormented Hero because it's lethal, might as well. And then hopefully we get a an amazing crackback afterwards. So my opponent has to have nothing. And then I'll block the Emissary with the Celestial Archon, assuming there's no creatures. I could have just kept up regen here. That's what I should have done. Yay! I want to sacrifice a creature. Did it let me do that yet? I don't know. I'm sacrificing this guy. There we go. Alright. Let's see if Night Howler lets us win. There's clearly no burn in my opponent's hand, or I would have died already. Opponent's GG'ing on the first game. That's cool. Ooh. Alright. So Mogis, huh? Mogish. Do I have anything I care about with Mogis? These guys we don't care about. Last Breath. My opponent is fairly aggressive. So maybe I want these Last Breaths. Don't want you. Scourge Mark. I don't have any enchantment hate. That's a bummer. Consider I'm in white. You have to excuse the phone for a moment. Yeah, so I'm going to take out this Archetype of Finality at 6. I don't think it's powerful enough against my opponent at 6, and bring in a Last Breath in order to try to have just another removal spell keep Mogis off of us and stay alive. And then I'll just know that my life total is pretty precious against Aztraz. Oh gosh. We're going to have to mulligan this guy. And just... I was pretty liberal initially with my life total, but now I don't want to do that anymore. Because if Mogis... Do I mull the 6 cards? Yes. Yes, I want to mull. This is keepable. We have a 2, a 3, and then eventually a bomb. Fairly not awesome card to have Nyxborn Eidolon against, but I don't care too much. I'll just keep this for a 2 something else. Get that guy out. Alright. Again, I want to preserve the life total, but hopefully this guy helps with that. I'll go ahead and attack here. I'm not blocking with it yet. Could be, I guess, a hasty dude. But I think the Black Oak will do more than anything else. And then I really would actually like to start drawing some plains. 0 more swamps would be awesome. Or action, but I do need a plains at some point. And I want it now when the Last Breath is going to be more relevant before guys start getting huge. Alright. Let's see what my opponent does now. Could go in for the free attack. I'm going to block no matter what. Opponent doesn't go there. So this is good. Happy just to develop the board and pass the turn with Last Breath up. I'm still not going to trade my Eidolon for the Crowan Crusader. My opponent's stuck on 2? Yeah, my opponent didn't miss a land drop last turn. That's what that was. 2-red Cerberus. Yeah, we're going to let that guy get Last Breathed, as it were. Just want to get guys off the board. Oh, I guess I should have saved it. Try to get like a 2-for-1. Yeah, that would be better gameplay, right? Have my Traveling Philosopher. Also, I can activate my Black Oak pretty handily. One thing I recently learned is that since this is tapping the Traveling Philosopher, it doesn't matter about Summoning Sickness. I can still tap the Traveling Philosopher. Because I saw someone do that, and I was really surprised that that was possible. Plains would be nice, or just action. This is our the only double white spell that we care about. This isn't exactly what I want my opponent to be doing in terms of me not having pressure. Ooh, an Ordeal. The opponent gets a creature, but can't really attack right now. And then I'll get to 2-for-1 it in the near future as well. I'm going to play the Swamp out. Against discard that could be bad, I might lose the Celestial Archon. But if I do end up drawing a Plains, I'd like to be able to bestow the Celestial Archon. So for now, we'll just do this. Keep the D, and wait for the bomb. If the Crusader wants to come through, I'm cool with that. This is nice. See what my opponent's hanging on to and get rid of it. Oh, hello. Alright, what matters to me? Sip of Hemlock my opponent is 2 away from. The Bestow guys can come down without bestowing. These guys get kind of big. And I have Pharika's Cure to play around it. Because that's the only thing that I really care about. This guy... How do I feel about a 5/5? I care about taking 5 life, that's for sure. But the Sip kills my bomb, and I definitely want to keep my bomb around. So we're going to get rid of that and then try to play around these Bestow against the Crusader. If it bestows something else, I have a couple of double blocks to make it not bad. So Eidolon, Eidolon, Giant we have. Eidolon, Eidolon, Giant. And then we'll pass the turn. I don't want to get aggressive and attack with my dudes, even though it trades off, so there's not much bestow. But I want, like, the Traveling Philosopher to get a Celestial Archon on top of it, so that would be nice. Ooh, and then an Emissary is played. That's a good card. If I draw that Plains, I'm not going to do the bestow yet. I really think it's key to have the Pharika's Cure available. So right now, the Black Oak is getting to a point where it can start eating things that come through, which is nice. Sure, bestowing the Crusader with one of those Eidolons does get a Soldier token on board, but I'm not worried about a 1/1 Soldier token. The Giant could come down. I will take 5. I am at a high enough life total where that's okay. It's not great, but it is okay. And then here, yeah, we are just going to go ahead and respond with the Pharika's Cure so that our deal doesn't get nasty, and all my opponent gets is a bunch of little dudes that are really outclassed right now. Another Swamp. I guess we'll hold in hand. We only need 4 for this pump. Really just want something more powerful. So a 2/1 coming on to like the Emissary could get really nasty. I can only pump this guy 3 ways. Giant coming down. Do you want to put... No. I am going to take 5. Puts me down to 15, but we still have ways to deal with some of these other cards. So my opponent only has an Eidolon in hand. So we're alive to a number of draws. Not that we're dead yet, but we have a number of draws that will be good, is what I'm saying. Is there anything I want to attack with this Emissary? If I make this a 4/6, there's tons of beef on the other side of the table. Take away, like, the Giant, there's 3, 4, 5, 6. I really want an invasion, dude. I think what I do is just play the Emissary on its own and keep up my Swamp mana. That seems like a good idea. And then I will go ahead and just pass the turn like this. I played the extra Swamp because now I have 4 creatures that I can keep pumping this Black Oak with. So yeah, now there's a 5/4 there. Could bash on through. I think I'm happy. Am I happy with the 2-for-1? Or do I want to trade my Black Oak for it? I'm definitely going to go to kill it. I could trade the Emissary for the Giant. That's pretty lame. The Emissary is really good. Let me make sure I'm not insane about being able to tap this guy. Okay. Just making sure. I want to make sure it's good. So, oh, it's +1/+1, so it stays alive a lot. Oh. We are obviously doing that a bunch. I thought it was just power. It's even better that it goes beyond that. Nice. Very nice. I don't think my opponent knew that either. Might have made the same mistake I did. Goodbye, Emissary. Do I have attacks here? Attack with Heliod's Emissary. Take out the board, but I'm actually okay. Oh, I should have tapped the Plains. I'm good with this this late game thing. We've got enough going on where it's okay. I guess I could have attacked with the Disciple, but then I still just trade off horribly. I think I would have wanted to attack in with the Philosopher, though, because that's going to be a natural 2-for-1. But right now, just having the Black Oaks keep me alive till I draw another Plains or another big dude is kind of alright. My opponent has 2 cards in hand I don't know. If Mogis comes down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's still 2 away from getting crazy. And I can start putting pressure on my opponent, which would make trades happen. So it should be... Mogis shouldn't be a huge issue. Taking 2 damage a turn, I should be able to mount enough of an offense to make it more relevant. So my opponent's trying to draw cards here. Can't blame. We're basically on a race to who can break this stalemate, though I like my board position a wee bit better. Swamperoo. And Rage of Purphoros. Bummer. I like that guy. He was a good one. Alright, Plains. You can do it. Oh, return Phalanx. That's a card, I suppose. Keeps the defense up. Still don't want to be attacking. I will bestow... Do I want to bestow my Philosopher or my Disciple? I guess the Philosopher. Just to get more damage through. It's a good card. Pass the turn with that. And we'll finally start to get through on a couple things. Deathbellow Raiders is just going to get eaten. I guess there's plenty of mana for regen. It doesn't really matter. Another Swamp doesn't matter. And slowly we'll start to tick away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mogis does become right away 7/5 indestructible dude. It can start eating away the game. So maybe it is time to start bashing through with some guys. Since this one's just going to be regenerated anyway, I'm just going to put the Black Oak in front of it. So as not to risk it dying anyway. I guess the Necrobite could be a thing. Let's see if that does anything. It doesn't, so that's good. Another Swamp, come on. I just realized Black Oak is going to be really good against Mogis because it can pump large enough to where it doesn't matter, which means I definitely am not interested in any sort of blocking with it. I'll put the Return Phalanx in front of the Deathbellow Raiders next turn and try to just have it trade off in some way. With like a combat trick, because that's the only real worry. And if that guy gets eaten to combat trick, that's fine. Eventually, like I'll still be able to easily block the Deathbellow Raider, but this forces it in a sense. And yeah, I know we don't have that many planes in the deck, but that's really what we're playing to right now. But because Mogis is online with these cards, I definitely want to keep Black Oak around. Opponent should be waiting until I block for that, but I guess my opponent just assumes there's going to be a block like that. Yay! Alright. That's what we've been waiting for all these years. Argument to put the Archon on the Sentry just because that's pretty insane for Strike and Vigilance, but I like to diversify my threats. This gets a little bit more damage through, a little bit more quickly. So that's the theory there. 2-turn clock versus a 3-turn clock. Kind of matters. And now we're at a point where Mogis doesn't scare me. Nor does a lot of anything else that could be in these colors, I don't think. Sip of Hemlock we got rid of, right? Yeah. So I think we'll be okay. Okay. After a pause, my opponent's back. We're going to do a lot of damage. And I hopefully think just close out the game. Next turn. What do you have, Aztraz? Anything? Anything at all? Anything at all? Anything? Ooh, Erotica. Don't care about that at all. Nope, okay. And that's that. Alright, so did a little bit of Swiss action there, got a little more experience with the cards, had fun, and got my 2 packs. Thanks for watching, gang. If you have comments or want to help bone up with me on Born of the Gods now in the Theros environment, shoot me a Twitter __RJH__. As always, comment, subscribe, and like on YouTube, or comment on manabluff.com. This is Ryan for manabluff.com. Again, thanks for watching. Bye.